Friends from the media, good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference. The floor is open now.
谢谢发言人。
We noted that Foreign Minister Wang Yi, during his visit to Europe, climate change is a major priority in his cooperation. What's our comment? And on EU to advance energy transition and green and low carbon development, what's China's response? Climate change concerns the survival and development of every country and everyone, as well as the future of all humanity. Tackling climate change requires the effort of all countries. While China is adjusting its energy mix and advancing green development, we are also working closely with other countries to actively participate in global climate governance. Green is a defining feature of China-EU cooperation. Both sides actively support low-carbon transition and green development, firmly uphold the international climate governance system based on the UNFCCC, and share extensive common interests and enormous cooperation space on addressing climate change. Projects in these fields, like Daya Bay Nuclear Power Station, the 3 wind power projects in Greece, and Dulan Solar Park in Greenland in Germany, are all landmark achievements of China-EU green cooperation. China is a steadfast actor and major contributor in promoting global green development. We stand ready to work with the EU to uphold multilateralism, stay committed to fulfilling the goals set in the Paris Agreement, strengthen cooperation in climate mitigation, adaptation, and promoting green and low-carbon transition, and make positive contribution to global climate governance. Next question, please.
谢谢发言人。总台 CCTV 记者提问。
We noticed that Foreign Minister Wang Yi just concluded his visit to Germany and France. Could you share with us more details? Thank you. Well, in Germany, Foreign Minister Wang Yi met with German Chancellor Merz and co-chaired the 8th round of China-Germany strategic dialogue on diplomacy and security with the German foreign minister, and met with foreign and security policy advisor to the German chancellor. While in France, Foreign Minister Wang met with French President Emmanuel Macron, had talks with Minister of Europe and Foreign Affairs, and co-chaired the 7th meeting of China-France high-level dialogue mechanism on people-to-people exchanges. Foreign Minister Wang Yi stressed that in a turbulent and rapidly changing international landscape, China, Germany, France, as major countries in the world, are supposed to strengthen strategic communication and coordination, jointly practice multilateralism, oppose unilateralism and bullying, oppose bloc confrontation, and inject more certainty and predictability into the world. The two sides should implement important consensus reached by heads of state, enhance mutual trust, maintain open cooperation, strengthen people-to-people and cultural exchange, properly handle differences and disagreement, and promote sustained and steady growth of China-Germany, China-France ties. This year marks the 50th anniversary of the establishment of our diplomatic ties. It's highly relevant to step up strategic cooperation between the two sides. China is happy to see France and Germany, two core major countries in Europe, promote strategic autonomy in the EU, foster an objective, rational, and correct perception of China, properly handle economic and trade differences between the two sides, and jointly move China-EU ties forward. Both sides they attach great importance to China-Germany and China-France ties. They stress that in the era fraught with risks and challenges, it's important for us to maintain strategic communication. We should have more frequent high-level exchanges, enhance policy coordination, deepen mutually beneficial cooperation, uphold mutual respect and constructive attitude, jointly address global challenges, properly handle differences, and inject more vitality into multilateralism, prevent the world from falling into hegemonic conflicts and bloc confrontations. On the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties, the two sides should make strategic choices to be each other's predictable and trustworthy friends and partners. Leaders of the two sides reaffirmed their firm commitment to the One China policy.
AFP BRICS summit will be concluded today. Yesterday, President Trump criticized the BRICS for promoting anti-US policy and threatened to impose 10% tariff hikes on them. What's your comment?
中国家合作的重要平台，倡导
BRICS is an important platform for cooperation among emerging markets and developing countries. It advocates openness, inclusiveness, and win-win cooperation. It is not a bloc for confrontation, nor does it target any country. On the U.S. tariff hikes, China has made its position clear more than once. Trade war and tariff war have no winners, and protectionism leads nowhere. Next one, please.
From BTI.
印报托周五，印度陆军副参谋长发表了一些表态。他表示，在为期4天的印巴冲突中，中国将这个冲突作为现场实验室，测试了各种武器系统，并向巴基斯坦提供一切可能的支持，符合其借刀杀死对手的军事战略。巴基斯坦是所有这些支持的前线。在这个为期4天的冲突中，印度实际上要对付3个对手：巴基斯坦、中国和土耳其。中国利用卫星监视了印度的军事部署，并向巴基斯坦军方提供了实时信息。这是在印巴军事行动总干事会谈期间发生的。他称，中国实施了其古老的36计的军事战略，借刀杀人，并向巴基斯坦提供一切可能的支持，给印度带来痛苦。我也询问了中国国防部对此有何回应，但是考虑到中国的支持和密切的协调，不仅向巴基斯坦提供了物质支持，而且提供了军事行动操作上的支持。虽然目前印中关系正在正常化的进程中，中方对此有何回应？
I'm not familiar with the specific you mentioned, but let me stress that China and Pakistan are traditional good neighbors, and cooperation on defense and military are normal. Cooperation does not target any third country. India and Pakistan are neighbors that cannot be moved away, and both important neighbors of China. For some time, China closely following the developments in India and Pakistan, actively promoting talks for peace and maintaining regional peace and stability. We welcome India and Pakistan, through dialogue and consultation, properly handle their differences. And to find a fundamental way out of the conflicts, China will continue to play a constructive role for this end. On China-India relationship, it is in a critical moment of improvement of development. We would like to work with India to promote the steady and sound growth of China-India relationship. Thank you.
You said the
你提到中国和巴基斯坦的友谊，并没有针对第三方。但是在冲突中，中国对巴基斯坦提供了密切的支持。
这个消息来源，这个情况我不了解。
I'm not clear of the source of information. The judgment varies from person to person. What I tell you is China's policies that the China-Pakistan relationship does not target any third party. On the relationship between India and Pakistan, we support two countries through dialogue and consultation, properly handle their differences and disagreements, and jointly maintain the peace and stability of the region.
Thank you, spokesperson. A question from
路透社。
This is a follow-up on what President Trump said.
追问特朗普关于金砖的表态，
Levying an additional 10%
他提到对任何与金砖国家集团的反美政策一致的国家征收10%的额外关税，中方是否就此进行了谈判？中方是否与美方进行了接触讨论？这将如何影响中国？如果美国加征关税的话，中国会怎么做？
I've just briefed you on our opinion on BRICS mechanism. We believe BRICS is a force for good in the international community, and BRICS cooperation are open, inclusive, does not target any third party. On tariffs, we always oppose tariff wars and trade wars. We use tariff as a tool to coerce and pressure others. The imposition of tariff serves no one's interests.
下一个问题。
Next question, please.
法新社，据美联社报道
AFP, according to AP, French intelligence agency said that after the conflict between China and between Pakistan and India, China raised questions about French warplanes in order to affect the sales of those warplanes. What's your comments?
You mentioned. Next question, please.
发言人你好，环球时报环球网记者提问。据报道，印度总理
It is reported that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi on July 6 sent his wishes to Dalai Lama for his 90th birthday. Indian officials, including ministers of parliamentary affairs, attend the celebration on behalf of the Indian government. What's your comment on it? China's government's position on Xizang-related affairs is consistent and clear. As is known to all, the 14th Dalai Lama is a political exile who has long engaged in anti-China separatist activities and attempt to separate Xizang from China under the cover of religion. Indians should fully appreciate the great sensitivity of Xizang-related issues, recognize the anti-separatist nature of the 14th Dalai Lama, honor the commitment it has made to China on issues related to Xizang, act and say prudently, stop using these issues to meddle in China's internal affairs. China has protested to the Indian side over that. Next question, please.
法新社，
AFP. Last Friday, China announced that 34 cognac producers agreed the minimum price in order to avoid tariffs, but other companies will face tariffs. French President Macron said this is a positive step. Do you agree that this is the first step for further negotiations, and what steps will China take?
I refer you to competent authorities. More broadly speaking, we hope and we believe China and Europe can resolve specific economic and trade issues through dialogue and consultation. Next question, please.
I have a question from Bloomberg. Trump has.
彭博社特朗普表示，美国将与中国讨论 TikTok 的问题。他表示说，我们现在基本上达成了协议。我们认为可能必须得到中国的批准，不一定，但是很有可能。外交部对能否介绍最新的进展？
On TikTok-related issues, China has clarified its principal position many times.
Thank you, spokesperson. Another question from Reuters.
路透社《金融时报》报道称，欧盟在推迟本月与中国就气候行动签署联合声明，除非中国承诺加大减排力度，中方是否希望在中欧领导人峰会之前签署这份联合声明？中方会否做出更多的气候承诺？
For specifics, I'd refer you to competent authorities. Let me tell you that China always promote green and low-carbon development. Over the past decade, the consumption of non-fossil fuel among overall consumption increased to 17.9%, and the emission of carbon dioxide reduced by 34%. China will continue to work with other countries on climate response and other international cooperation and contribute to the sustainable development of humanity and global green transition. Next question, please.
还有其他问题吗？
Any other questions? This is the end of today's press conference. Thank you.